If you guys don't want me to record, let me know. But regardless, then we can go ahead and start the meeting. Hello, everyone, and welcome to week 13 of the spring semester. I don't keep track. I'm used to all my courses keeping track of the number for me, but none of my professors are doing that this year. So I don't actually know how much time is left. All I know is that graduation is in about a month. But yeah, welcome. I'm glad you're all able to make it. I know Anthony cannot join us right now because he is down south chasing. He was chasing yesterday and today. Jen, I'm glad you were able to make it. Glad you were able to do that. I'm going to share the screen here. But yeah, obviously the story of right now is just the severe weather that's been going on the past couple of days. Thank you, I can see that. I think everyone in the Discord has already seen these magnificent photos from Anthony. This is from Iowa yesterday. He was up there with Richard Sample, who was also in the Discord. They had a great time. Here you can see the hailstones that they got. And then here's one that Cass put in the Discord. This is just crazy.
That was from Toledo. Like I was in a store from Facebook.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, this one was from Texas. So yeah, just crazy stuff. And then of course, it's continuing on today as well. I can show you. We were in a moderate, or not we, but specifically, South Central United States, and in particular, the Memphis area, as well as northern Mississippi, was in a big old moderate risk, including a 15% tornado risk. We were also in a marginal risk of severe weather here. Didn't end up getting anything. I think we got like 2 claps of thunder total or something. It was exciting. They were great thunderclaps, but yeah, no, just not much. We didn't get a lot of sunlight. Just wasn't much going on today. But yeah, as you can see, they have a few watches out right now, and I'm sure some of them are turning into warnings as well. I don't know which one Anthony is following right now, or if he even is still following them. He might just be going home. I don't know if he's chasing these more linear storms right now. But yeah, he's definitely having a great time. I'm sure we'll have him talk about that next week as well, because I'm sure he'll have a lot to tell. Here are the storm reports from yesterday if you wanted to get a little bit of a sense of what was going on. So they were up here in Iowa, in northern Iowa, chasing this set of storms. And then of course, there was some more severe weather going on in Texas as well. And then we can look at today's as well. They don't have any tornadoes on this map right now, but I'm sure that'll change. But yeah, obviously big severe weather day. It's going to be continuing tomorrow too, up in the far northeast of the country as well. I'm not going to talk too much about that though. The main things that I wanted to talk about today, I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, I know most of you have already registered for courses, but freshmen and sophomores in particular, and I guess grad students too, you can still take these courses. For the first time in, I believe, 4 semesters since I've been here, they are offering the severe weather class again. What? No, just surprised. Oh, okay. So yeah, no, this severe weather class was used to be taught by Dr. Bucher, who is no longer here. And so, it's just been kind of on hiatus for a while, but we were finally able to get that brought back. It'll be Dr. Finch teaching it this time. I was never able to take it with Dr. Bucher, but from what I've heard, it's a great course. And I'm sure Dr. Finch will be teaching it well as well. Questions? What?
Like what class is it open to?
What do you mean by that?
I'm a freshman, can I take it?
Oh, yeah, no. The only prerequisite is Meteorology 120. That's it.
Which was?
The intro class. You've already taken it.
One at a time.
The intro class. You've already taken it. So you can take it if you'd like. Do you have a question, Chris? Is it going to be offered in the spring? I don't think it would be offered in the spring. I think it's a fall-only class because, she has to make sure it's enough. But yeah, no, if you guys are interested in taking this, I highly recommend it. I've heard nothing but good things about it. I've never been able to take it myself, but I'm sure Dr. Finch will teach it very well. Additionally, they are also offering climate change again. Dr. Toy is going to be teaching that again. Has anyone taken climate change here? How was that course?
Don't procrastinate like I did. But it's literally just read a book, do stuff.
Sure.
Literally, sure. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Like he has it's split into like 4 modules, so you have like X amount of weeks to finish these 4 things, and then it's all due by like this one Sunday, and then X amount of weeks to do this other thing. So it's like 4 different split up 4. Just don't procrastinate like I do.
From what I've heard, it's very much a prototypical Dr. Choi class where he, if you've ever taken a Dr. Choi class, it'll be very similar to that. Should be a good course. I'm sure it'd be a great one to take. But yeah, just for those of you to keep that in mind, I know most of you have already registered, but if you haven't already, there's some courses to look out for. Yeah, I think that was all I wanted to talk about for now. So the other things that we need to talk about this week are elections and then kind of what we want to do for the rest of the semester. So first of all, last week I said elections would be starting this week. I lied. I just miscalculated my weeks. So yeah, elections are going to start next week. We will start taking nominations for positions. And then the week after that, we will vote for them. And that'll be the final meeting of the semester. That's the week of April 27th. For those of you keeping track of that. They're going to work exactly the same as they did last semester, and I think all of you were there for that, where we will take nominations for each of the positions, and then we will vote on the next meeting, and if there are any conflicts, then there will be a short, like 30-second to a minute long speech. The only, as far as I know, the only position that is necessarily opening up is the president position. Obviously, I am graduating, and so someone will have to take my place. But for example, if Jen, you're the secretary right now, if you wanted to stay the secretary and no one ran against you, then you would just continue being the secretary of Survivor the Club next semester as well. That'd be totally fine. Same with you, Cass, as the treasurer, and Chris as the vice president. But yeah, regardless, whoever would be the next president, I would make sure that you guys are good to go for that. The main role of the president is making sure that there's something to do every week. And I've actually already kind of planned out a sort of roadmap for what you might want to do next semester that kind of fills out all the weeks. And so that'll be easier for you to transition into that role if that's something you would like to consider doing. But yeah, so definitely be thinking about that.
When are you graduating?
Graduating in May.
Like this May?
Yes, like in a month. And I will be gone after that. I considered grad school, it's just not my thing. I'm not going to be doing that. So yeah, that'll be the main thing, is thinking about a president, and then of course any other positions that might open up because of that are fair game as well. Additionally, there will also be the activity or the club chairs as well, the activities chair, the outreach chair, the med ed chair, and then I think you're still the webmaster. You're working on the website, right? Is that going well?
Yeah, it's coming along good.
Yeah, you gave us like a sort of yeah, I like that. It was good. But yeah, that's elections covered. Just make sure that you guys are ready to think about nominations for next week. You have your hand up?
No.
Okay, yep. The last thing then that I wanted to talk about before the main presentation today was kind of what we wanted to do for the end of the semester. We already kind of made a plan that the week of the 27th will be our last meeting, because that frees up some time for you guys to study for dead week and then for finals week the week after. But I know Anthony and I do too. We wanted to do a sort of end of the semester celebration, because that's something we've always done. It's a tradition that we've done like whenever there hasn't been COVID, right? And so I kind of wanted to open up the floor to you guys. I wish Anthony was here because he would definitely be a big part of that. But some things that we usually do a bowling thing, where we will rent a few lanes at Diggers Bowling out on Lafayette, and then we'll order pizza and we'll just have a good time and bowl. I think that's a great time when we did that. So would that be something that you guys are interested in doing?
Sure. I can throw it out there. The whole dead week idea, like, I don't mind. This is like, I mean, I have stuff happening after my class, but this is the only thing I have after 5 months. I'm totally willing to come during dead week. We could have like this celebration during dead week.
Yeah, so that was my other thing, is when do we want to have that? I would have no problems doing it that, let's say, that Wednesday arbitrarily. At the same time we always do a severe weather club, or maybe like the later in the evenings that we have time to get ready for classes and stuff. Would that be something that you guys are interested in doing? Is it doing it that week? I'd be willing to hear from you guys, especially you two in Discord, Anna and Jen, or not Discord.
I think we should talk about that in the Discord when everyone can be able to answer, because I know Anthony's not here.
Anthony's not here, Jack's not here. Yeah.
Oh, Jackson's in the
Jen is here.
I know
Yeah.
Jen's in the thing, but like.
No, so yeah, I will definitely put this in the Discord. I'll make like an official announcement where we can like vote for a couple of things. But I think that's a good plan. as far as trying to get together for bowling on that Wednesday, for instance. Would that be something you guys are interested in?
Or if we can't do it on a Wednesday, we could try to do it on the weekend.
Yeah, we could do it whenever. We could do it whenever. That'd be totally fine. So yeah, I'll put that in the Discord then, and I'll be open to hearing your guys' suggestions. But yeah, I definitely want to hang out with you guys before I leave forever. But yeah, are there any questions, comments, or concerns before we get into the main presentation? If not, then I will turn it over to Cassidy, and she will be giving us a presentation on wildfires. It's not necessarily, strictly meteorology related, but one of the things that we need to keep in mind as meteorologists is that there is an intersection between meteorology and the earth and the public. And so just as important as is the weather itself to us, we also are concerned with what the weather does and how it affects us. And so that's kind of what this presentation will be doing, that sort of perspective. So yeah, I will give it over to you.
All right, so I'll be doing a presentation over the Camp Fire in Butte County, California. It started on November 8th, and then it officially ended contained on November 25th in 2018. So the setup for the conditions for this fire was that it started heavy spring rains, which caused a bloom of vegetation. And then going over summer into fall, they had a decrease in their annual rainfall. So it caused all that vegetation from the spring to dry out, which caused more fuel for the fire later. They had about 200 days of drought, and then decreased humidity, which included dry air from recent wind events. They had a red flag warning the day before the fire happened into the morning after the fire happened. It dropped from 23% to 10%, and then that words caused those red flag conditions, which are Darbo winds, that they call the Diablo winds around that area, and they had katabatic winds, which came over the Great Basin just east of the area, which the katabatic winds are just caused by a decrease in but then it got funneled into the Feather Canyon, so that's why it caused it to get spread so fast. The cause was a faulty electrical transmission line owned by the Pacific Gas and Electric Company. And then later there was a second fire caused by increased vegetation around another electrical distribution lines owned by the same company. But it later was engulfed by the original fire. Why did it spread so fast and so much was that the valley that it was in caused the firefighters to have a difficult time fighting it. The steep terrain causes fire to be spread faster by gravity and also by the winds, caused it to just be funneled through the valley. It was about 30 miles per hour winds, and it was pointing strictly southwest. Downsloping winds, like I said, katabatic winds, it's just funneled through that canyon. Also with the valley and the canyon it was in, it was just small mountain passes, which inhibited firefighters to find areas to fight the fire. When it reached the town of Paradise, right in the middle, it spread from building to building, and that just caused it to get bigger and just out of control. And it was independent from vegetation. This is the animation I found of the spreading. The one on the left is November 8th. So it showed where it started, and it just spread down canyon. Rages in the town of Paradise.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
No, I'm just looking at the timescale on that. That's increasing in minutes.
Yeah, this is it's a time lapse, so the minutes, and it's 10.
Oh my god. Oh
yeah.
That's crazy.
The one on the right, it's kind of fuzzy, but it's by day. So this is November 11th, November 12th, November 13th, November 7th, 8th. It just goes by really fast. I apologize. But it just shows how fast the fire spread and how much smoke it produced. There's the timeline. A lot, so you guys can just read most of it. But it just shows you how much acres it burned, and how much it started. They started doing containment. November 14th is when that second fire broke out. Around November 20th was when rainfall started helping the firefighters contain it. And then November 25th, it reached 100% containment and a total burn of over 154,000 acres. That's a lot, I apologize. Results, it was the deadliest fire in the US and the deadliest and destructive in California's history. It cost $16.65 billion in damage, and about $4 billion of that was uninsured. It burned, like I said, around 154,000 acres. Building destroyed 18,804. Casualties is 85, which wasn't too bad. I think there was injuries of about like 12 firefighters, or 12 people, then like 7 firefighters, and there's like 5, I forget the other number. Later, P&G filed for bankruptcy because they had so much compensation to deal with, and they pled guilty for 84 counts. Kind of a little dark, but I'm like, this was like, oh, we made a mistake, because they're supposed to do cleanup around the wires, as well as as well as depleting energy from around the area, since they had the red flag conditions. Like they said that they were going to take energy away from Paradise, but they didn't take it completely. Here's just some results. This leads to, or like these 3 are before and after. The areas with it, they're kind of fuzzy in quality. So this one's just like, you can see that, well, you can't really see it, but there's pine trees around here. This is regrowth, but the neighborhood's still burned and destroyed. There's my references. Sorry, it's kind of good. I can't talk really fast.
I'm really sorry. Just like, oh, so what did your company go down for? Oh, 84 counts of involuntary arrest. I don't think I've ever heard that high amounts.
It's pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Deserves. I love learning about that.
Yeah, I appreciate this, yes. One of the things you brought up in the slides, I saw you mentioned katabatic winds. There are a million different names for this kind of phenomenon, just depending on where you are. They all have local names. You mentioned Diablo winds. If you took Meteorology 327 with Dr. Choi, he describes the Foehn winds. It has a weird spelling. But it's all basically describing the same sort of phenomenon where winds coming down the slopes of the mountains, just the same that wind cools. When it goes up the mountain, it'll warm as it comes down the mountain. Of course, it's really dry there as well, and so that's of course associated with extremely good fire conditions because it's really hot and dry air coming down those mountains. And then, as you said, this particular case in particular, those winds being funneled into a narrow valley really provides the sort of oomph for it to spread. That animation you showed of the fire spreading like by the minute was crazy. But yeah, no, wildfires in particular are a very big thing to look out for. In the National Weather Service, or the SPC, one organization within that sort of umbrella, they issue red flag warnings because it's such a big problem in these areas of the country. And the weather obviously impacts the ability of a fire to spread and the risks associated with the fire startup. And so that's a very important thing that meteorologists need to look out for. But yeah, I appreciate this presentation. Good stuff. I think that's all that I had planned. Are there any questions about anything, in particular the rest of the semester? Oh, you have a question.
Actually, there is something that I want to bring up just about the flow.
Sure.
So I saw a discussion about this and I tried to understand it in the best way possible. So if I'm wrong about this, you can instantly punch me in the face and shut me up. But I saw that there was talk about inviting like non-meteorology students or club members to the Discord.
Yeah, so to be clear, what I was talking about there was I was given a list of all of the or all of the students, the incoming freshmen that had applied to the meteorology program at Western and had been accepted, but they have not yet signed a housing contract with WIU. What that means is that they have not yet declared to WIU that they are coming to this school. And so my role in that was to basically act as a recruiter. I sent them emails basically saying like, hey, this is our program, this is what we do, we'd really like you to join. And one of the things that we made this Discord for was as a place for new students and prospective students to meet current students and alumni and ask questions. That is one of the things we have, and we have a role specifically for that. It's called prospective students. And so they are more than welcome to come to the Discord and ask as many questions about the program as they want to, or just observe and kind of understand our program and see if that's something they would want to be a part of. Obviously, if they don't end up deciding to come to the school, then they wouldn't stick around in the Discord. I would make sure of that. But yeah, that is the purpose of that. And that is what I was discussing. I was trying to make sure that some prospective students had the best sort of opportunity to meet with us, especially given restrictions regarding visiting the university. I know you were able to, which is really cool. I was able to meet you in a dynamic course. Yeah. But a lot of students aren't able to do that. And so that was one of the main functions of this Discord, was to allow people to do that. If that was any confusion about that, then I apologize. But that's what that's for.
Okay, did you not do this last year?
What?
Did you do this last year?
Not to the unconfirmed students. I did it to all the confirmed students. So I sent one to you and you and you.
Did you?
Yeah, you responded to it.
Did I?
Yes.
Yeah. No, I sent something to you first.
Nope, I sent you an email and you responded to it.
I didn't get anything. I thought I was straight.
Yeah, you came during 2020, right? That was your freshman year. Yeah, so I wasn't as big.
I was part of the club. I just never went to meetings.
Right. No, I wasn't as big as in the program as I am now, so I didn't send out these kinds of emails. I'm sure Anthony sent out something like that. I know when I was an incoming freshman, Luke Sager, who was the president at the time of Serial Weather Club, he sent me that kind of email. So that's kind of why I'm doing this, is I want to make sure that the same sort of opportunity can be afforded to the incoming freshmen, to try and get a sense of what this program is like. So that's what that was for, if there was any questions about that. But yeah, any other comments, concerns? If not, then yeah, I will let you go here. Please think about any positions that you'd like to run for Severe Weather Club. And we will hold nominations next week. And I believe next week we have Chris on the docket, where he will be giving his presentation. But yeah, thanks for coming, guys. I will see you next week. And to the people on the Zoom call, I appreciate you guys coming as well. I hope you guys have a good rest of your evening.